to where, especially in Miramar, if we have those center circles, we're going to see all the kind of the center teams have a really big advantage from off the start. I want to see some of the edge circles. I want to see somewhere up close to Campo Militar or something really exciting like that.
Urban ending.
Urban ending.
Oh,
Let's get Les Leones.
Oh, Los Leones. Lee loves Soaks as well.
That would be very nice indeed. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Time for Miramar here for our second to last day of Phase 1 for the PUBG Europe League. Sims, Demon, give me the sound.
Thank you very much. It's been a long old time for James. He wants a bit of sand. Let's see where we go. Maybe we'll give him the island.
Why would you give him sand?
Well, he's in Miramar.
Yeah, but why would he want sand?
Maybe he likes beaches.
Just like making a lot of cement.
glass.
Man, James's private Polish glass-making facilities back at home.
Well, it's an eastern flight path straight over Los Leones and towards La Bendita, Cruz del Val, etc., etc. Of course, it does mean the FaZe Clan will adjust their path. No Monte Nuevo for them. Back down south they go. And my word, have they got some work to do. I think if they don't have a big game in the next 2 matches, we could be looking at maybe FaZe slipping off the back of the chances. TSM as well are also on the cusp, I would say, of slipping out of realistic chances of promotion. There's still quite a long way to go, though.
Yep, there's still, after this, another 6 games. Every single point counts, and every single time you fluff it up and end up bombing out in a low position, it just makes the graft and the grind to get up there and make it to top 4 even harder. And now, as it was alluded to on the desk, obviously for those that are below the top 4, for them, it's a placement thing, it's a money thing. The further they can get up in the rankings, the more cash in the pocket they're going to be ending this season with. We have a very strong easternly direction here on the plane, and oh my word.
Well, he wanted sand. He's got sunny beaches. That's what he's got.
So with this one, that's actually quite savage, is that? FaZe are going to be sitting happy now, be usual suspects down there. There isn't a great deal of land here at all. This would be a fast pace land grab. Yeah, they actually called for Leones on the desk, so it's probably going to go there now.
It's a big chance, I would say. But it does tend to pull away from A, water, and B, cities. So it will be an interesting one if it goes there, but that is a short landmass area. More water than land, actually, in this circle.
I think to get Leones, you're going to need a complete northern hard shift straight out of the water, because if we know, this is what players need to be thinking about, thinking ahead of the curve. The circle will move away from water by circle 4. So in theory, we know that it's 100% going to be on land. You know where the next one's going to be. It's going to be basically a diagonal path from the very corner of where the circle is now, just below Navi, up through Leones, up to the top. It's somewhere along that line. You can pretty much plot a graph on a graph where exactly, not where it'll be, but where it's going to go in a line.
The problem is that a circle 4 is a lot smaller than this. So
that's what I mean.
To plot that graph, it gets very technical.
It just comes straight in there. That's what I'm saying. It's like, because you know that it can only fit in a certain amount of areas, and we know that it's going to go away from water. So it's somewhere between where probably Pokemolodoy is and Mexi. It's somewhere along that line. Probably just outside. Yeah. Either way, what I'm trying to get around here is that there is absolutely no land whatsoever, especially for 16 teams. A lot of them are going to come down north, and La Bendita around that area. There isn't many roads through it, so you might just get ENCE getting themselves together.
It's interesting that obviously Jokers have gone back to Impala. We haven't seen them there since, I think, week 1. They did tend to variate between La Cabrera and Impala. They had a little run-in with Navi at one point, which actually they came out on top on. And bizarrely, they chose to back away from this one. Meanwhile, Digital Athletics catching M19 a little bit here. Of course, D8, you know, they're not ordinarily in and around here. CrowCrowd M19 are not too used to having to share this sort of territory with Digital Athletics. That's a nice shot through the crate gap there. He's also going to push on Tweenot, and well, we've seen it once already, haven't we, today? Digital Athletics in a 2v4 taking down M19, this time in a 1v2. Beautiful Death comes out on top.
What do you say to that? Apart from nothing,
apart from back to the training ground for you boys.
It's
good job. There's no relegation. Is what I'm saying right there.
You shouldn't
because
be
some of
allowing
these
one
PCL
player.
teams will be watching out and thinking, why? Why?
Honestly, Season 3 of PEL is going to be, for me, one of the closest throughout all the regions that are going on at the moment across the world in the Pro Leagues. PEL will be insanely tough at the top when it comes to Season 3. It's going to be brutal.
So, 5 minutes approaching, and you can see Team Liquid, of course, on the way out of Picado. They're heading south, and now we're going to set to see where everybody wants to set their stall out. What will be their focus? Jempty, the lead man, as he used to be for FaZe Clan, getting and scouting and finding the territory. And he works so well for Team Liquid at the moment. He used to work so well for FaZe Clan. But of course, he joined his brother in the Boys in Blue. And they now look to be going to London. The question is, will FaZe be joining them? They are way down south still, yet to even try and remotely get a center position in this circle.
I think the one thing that I really like from Liquid is what a difference, what a night and day difference, in fact, we've seen from them in terms of progress coming into GLL. Going into the, the GLL Season 3 finals, everyone's like, oh, now,
cross-calling.
Liquid's going to be this super powerhouse team. And to be honest with you, it was trash.
They were 10th, I think.
It just wasn't good at all. It was nowhere near what we expected from them.
Yeah.
But it looks like they've gone back to the drawing board. They've worked on their mistakes. And lo and behold, like you said, they're now back to being potentially a world-class team.
Yeah, barring, obviously, ENCE's amazing performance, they are right up there. And when you pit Team Liquid against the world's best, they are going to perform. They've proved it time and time again. They got second at PGI. They proved it there along with NIP. So we'll see, of course, whether both those teams can certainly reach there. It looks like Team Liquid certainly will do. The question is, who will be alongside them? Of course, they've gone for a deep, deep south path, by the way. So we were talking about, are they going to center up what position they're going to go with? Team Liquid have gone for the coast.
If this circle doesn't hard shift north, then we know that it's going to be a coastline finish. If Leones goes square in central and it goes for that northern swing, then it's job done.
No,
but
look,
if it's still in circle 2, if there's still a lot of water in play, it's a coastline.
We know from obviously stuff we've done that it does pull away from water, it pulls away from cities. The players know, oh my God, Uber has been caught. How in minute 7 have FaZe Clan been caught in a rotation path? How is that possible when they dropped there? They were the first there. That should not happen.
I think that was a little bit of a slow pull away, but Liquid have got the right idea. They've set up on what is potentially a choke point here. There's nowhere else to go once you're on that.
Well, they're trying to do the same to the Jokers here, FaZe. They may catch it. Dimash down very low. He's got a silhouette on the hill. Gets, oh no, he doesn't get away with it. Mexi catches him. Oh no, tell a line. That was Tab. That was Tab.
That's the opposing side.
Dimash and Navi will benefit from the damage. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll take the football as you kick it uphill. Job done. So points shared across.
And that's Jokers. 333 points for the Jokers. They've lost 2 members already. That is tragedy. There's a third that's downed, and that is Kemba, and he's now stolen away. And now FaZe get themselves 2 points from a team they are chasing. They are 10 points behind Jokers. Of course, they're still not 4th place, but there is one they can step closer to, and that's what FaZe need, especially when they're a man down.
There will be certain pushes where they get the information. Okay, now we know what team we're facing off against. You'll get the kill. You'll see the player's name. It's right. We know where this team is perpendicular to us on the scoreboard. Let's get stuck in. Let's completely flush them, wipe them off the face of the planet, and remove them from the leaderboard. If you can find an opponent that is knocking on your back door, especially in that points tally.
See you, car.
Bye-bye. They're like, no.
Don't need that anymore anyway.
Damn it, I only had 2 payments left on that thing.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to my point about the circle shifts, etc. A lot of those teams obviously have analysts and coaches that do put a lot of work into predicting the paths of these circles. So sometimes they are certainly more educated than we are, that's for a fact. So it's interesting to see who's guessed right, because I'm really, really interested with Team Liquid's position in here.
I think this one's a quite self-explanatory, like I say, unless it goes, there you go. Now there's a lot of, just because of how much water is, I
think it's down to the fact that Los Leones, obviously we know it pulls away from cities, and it will pull away from water, but there's space. And the next circle is going to half again, and of course, boom, there's space. And circle 4 will be the one that pulls away from water. So they have all read that very, very well.
Yeah, coastal finish. It's job done. Simple as that, somewhere along that line. and it'll pull further in. It could still, this next turn, it could still half.
It was either the north or the east side of the circle, of Los Leones, I guess, was the coastal finish.
That's what I mean. I think because there was still room for it to fit above, and this is what we're talking about, the hard shift, and it would have gone above Los Leones and then start to pull away from it.
And then keep going to Bendita, yeah.
Yeah, I think in all these ones at the moment, it's not too much of an issue, but that circle, for a circle 2, is absolutely savage. There is very minimal room to work with. I mean,
you could say it's brutal.
And they're probably going to get wrecked.
NIP coming down from Los Leones. Let's see, they are the team that everybody was chasing, but now G2 find themselves in that hot seat, just 1 point behind. They themselves, of course, sitting on the coastline, just outside and south of Jokers. Senya being the last man standing for them and hoping he can get some sort of placement points. But TSM are heading G2's way. G2 actually are mid-moving, so they're rotating around to Udia.
At this point in the game, you don't want to get too greedy. The Knights, Reels, are you okay, mate? Gets caught off guard, unfortunately, and stabbed in the back. Ira picks him up a point, not a problem there, but you don't want to get too greedy here. The hardest team that's going to have the most difficulty, which might go for a straight-up open-over rotation here, is Winstrike. They'll know TSM's directly in front of them. They'll have heard the vehicles, or at least seen them at distance. We're not going to get too many engagements and fights here. Yes, people are very close together, and you'll see them poking and pincering one another.
Is there another to follow, Sixmo? Does he have a nade? Does he have a nade? Or is he just going to SLR him? I'm going to try. Nope, Mert's going to toss that nade. He just landed the first one. That's too short. Well too short.
It's a fair distance away, but there's someone punching him in the back here.
Raise your edge, yeah.
It's time for them to crest. Got a Kar 98 in the hand of Snark as well. It could be, unless that was fast rail. He's usually the sniper for the team.
As well. Set's coming down the hill. Set's coming up the hill, I should say. He's coming up the hill behind Vitality. He wants to get involved. Is he in nade range? Iro will get the kill onto Monkey. And Vitality are just picked apart in the crossroads. They thought they had a nice, and in fairness, it is 2 nice little ditches, but the problem is they're surrounded.
The next circle is going to be just devastating for a lot of teams. And again, because everyone kind of read it well, knew that we're going to be a coastal-based circle, decided to go down, head down that way.
Of G2 just managed to creep their way into that spot between FaZe and Liquid. How has that happened? They went along the coastline, and now they've just screwed up the hill.
You cannot. Oh, wait a minute. M19 might be going out here. That's a decent nade up, and in we go. Let's see what kind of response they have, Constantine, on the opposing side, but it looks like NIP want to do. Oh, there's still half a water in. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's going to pull. That's going to pull north next. So basically, Navi, FaZe's position. FaZe is kind of like central of the next circle.
Because it's 50-50, almost guaranteed with the water and the land ratio, you can also tell which one it'll fit into, so you know where the center of the circle is now going to be at this point. We now know it's going to be between, the center will be between Navi and FaZe, depending on where it goes, but the next one literally goes on top of them.
Yep.
So everyone's going to try and cram their way into there because we can preempt this and we read it, but that is a god-awful circle. This is going to be insane.
Well, M19 win the race for 16th place. It's a position they've occupied fairly regularly. Vitality have somehow managed to escape the compound. Jazza gets caught in the back. Navi actually landed that shot. Where the hell? Okay, he's got 6 smoke. That's Digital Athletics trying to make the move and trying to scurry towards them. It's the right move. It's the right play. And now they're caught by ENCE. Look at that. ENCE up on high. They're the ones taking the shots, but they've been in this position before. This time ENCE would like to get some kills. That's Rustam catching himself one. I think Mert, the last man standing. No, Iro's still back at that crossroads.
Navi, good. FaZe, good. G2, good. Straight up the middle. Job done for them. DA, broken, not out just yet, but split across the map, unfortunately. Joker's still clinging on for dear life. TSM and Winstrike about to clash heads in Puerto Paraiso. Unfortunately for them, they decided to go down, but didn't realize that this is where Winstrike was actually lingering. TSM, Rory, he hits the deck from a nade from Timmy in the back lines. You can already see he's shooting out from the blue. That's Nookie on that side. Wookie will get pincered back, and so will Rory, still by 2 members And then we've still got Gustav, I believe. No, excuse me, Michael, another member of TSM that have gone all the way down to the bottom
He's got
side.
one. They double peak. They did. They went for the double peak. Okay, Gustav will take that one down. Big fight for Winstrike there. They've lost one. TSM have also lost one earlier on. Timmy and Tixu also still making their way down that coast, keeping Wookie at bay behind them. Razor Edge getting caught out by Squidgy.
There is a player that we can't see from Winstrike still in the blue, so Wookie needs to be very, very aware and have his head in a swivel. I think TSM would be quite clever here if they run forward and took the early compounds. Razor Edge, unfortunately, Hammer comes down from above. ENCE.
It's not the team you want to run into at the moment on a hill. They are not afraid to fight anyone right now, ENCE, because they have the points, they have the position, they can make the plays, and that's always a dangerous thing to catch. Na'Vi, they've had a win today. They're looking to try and maybe get a second one here. They have the positional placement, that's for sure. Senya just stole that kill away. That's an important one. Senya, the solo player, remember, for the Jokers.
Still doing work, and why the hell not? You can pick up a point or two. Let's try and do something. I see Wookie shooting from the outskirts. There you go. Plum center, job done. Everyone knew where it was going to be going. You can work it out because of the water mass ratio. Wookie still playing outside of the blue. Recrent now. Hammer down to the Knights. Unfortunately, they've turned up. Team E goes down. Gustav answers back. So that's a good response there from TSM with this fight still engaging on the outskirts down on the coastline. 3 members still up for TSM. They're playing... oh, that actually took out 2. Nookie went as well. Excuse me. It's only Nookie alive for Winstrike.
Yep.
So they got broken and battered down there.
Yeah, TSM destroyed them, and maybe their hopes and dreams, who knows. There's still 6 games after this to play out, of course, 5 tomorrow and 1 more today as TSM continue. Wookie Bookie gets another one as he moves on the hill. In terms of points-wise, well, it's the top 4 that are laughing, really, in these positions. They all have stronghold positions. They are looking at everybody trying to chase them and thinking, we've got your number.
Still think for TSM it would be good to go further down south. It's easy for us to say because we know what's ahead of them, but they should be reading that there is a fight kicking off and maybe try and avoid it and head further.
TSM, though,
inland.
They need a monster game. You know, they are, what, 30 points behind? Yeah, 30 point, or 29 points technically behind G2. So they need one of those big, big games. Of course, they've lost one already. They do manage to pick that kill up, so Wookie will finish off Razor Edge as Copper Magic goes down.
Winstrike, okay, so FaZe will be happy with that because that's another team that's lingering around that top area. Unfortunate finish for them in 14th. The blue will solidify their place in the grave. TSM have gone further down south. They'll avoid that ENCE fight for now, but they are still encroaching on their position. Team Liquid, though.
The dude's on the flank, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to hold back the Red Diamonds here. Bestlock doing what he does best, which is go for the widest flanks of 2019. He'll go all the way down south, and he might even come behind them.
Where did that nade go? Went a little too close. Samty backs away. Had to show his hand a little early there, and Jeeves has gone down and punished him for it. Senpai getting caught out. He's going to get an angle in this shack as well as Pin tries to push the edge. A doozy. They tried to go for this really large flag. Bestlock is miles away from the rest of his team. And I feel this is Red Diamonds in a nutshell, right? You know, they're either hot or they're not.
Yeah.
They will have some amazing plays. You'll see some great flanks. And then sometimes they just play it so wrong, you're just thinking, what's going on? What is happening? You know, Bestlock and Aduzi are amazing players. Pin's gone off on one at times, and so is Senpai. Obviously, you think of that Joker's game. But now NIP are moving in on Team Liquid as they want to try and catch Gemty off guard.
Gemty nade in hand, up and over. Unfortunately, though, as we've seen many times, they get too overzealous with that. James is with the response. Samty tries to find the follow-up. 2 go down now for Liquid. Can they make something happen? Ibby's on the front lines as well. He spots Gaxi, but he needs to be aware that there is a player. Miraku down. He's not dead, but he is healing, so he's out for now. He's up. There we go. The med's off, and here comes the push.
Samty's on the flank. He's going to be the one that's going to get around the back. Vard trying to push around as quick as possible. Ibby gets out, pulls away from it. Miraku will get him down. He's going for the flush points. Samty comes over the top, and Samty will take NIP down in 13th place. And G2 and everybody chasing will be looking at that and thinking, this is our chance.
That's huge. Big boy player from Samty on the back line to hold his nerve and turn up at the right time. He just got there in time as well before Miraku starting finish off down and dead players. They lose 1, but that's fine. They're still alive. Circle, centers up. FaZe, Vitality. Na'Vi not in the most healthiest position. Eventually they are going to have to move. They're safe for now. But certainly Shadow, as a one-man band standing strong, he's doing quite well. Liquid, though, however,
Yeah, where do they go? Because the Navi are just staring at them.
I think they go for the compound directly in front of them, but it all comes down to these two snakes in the grass they left behind, which is Red Diamonds. How much more damage can they do?
Then you found. So that's going to be Winstrike and the Jokers down, which is great for FaZe Clan, great for TSM, are all chasing. We may see this lobby closing once again, getting closer and closer in the points. Empty caught out. Aduzi, they didn't deal with the Diamonds. They managed to regroup Red Diamonds. Best luck on Aduzi. We've seen before what they can do. Jempty gets down and flushed. It leaves Jeems and Samty alone in a 2-on-2.
They come back to haunt them from the grave, unfortunately. And left one alive, which was going to be a doozy, but best of luck with that huge flank around. Expect them to get on the bike here. Oh, there we go, as I say, and go straight for that compound in front of them. If they decide to go anywhere up north and diagonal region, they will get shot at instantly by Navi, who's already watching their position. Meanwhile, a little bit of respite here for Team Liquid. It looks like Red Diamonds might fall to the hammer of G2, who are watching that angle, and they'll get crushed together. A quick kill steal comes through as well. James snatches a point away from G2 and also enacts a little bit of revenge on a doozy.
As if Team Liquid need more kill points. They are sitting pretty right now, obviously wiping out NIP and 3 members of Red Diamond so far. ENCE on the move. They're looking at CrowCrowd. They've got a knock. They're going to try and confirm and wipe out the team. That would be 11th place for them. G2 need to move. They've moved 3 already up there. They will move the final man. Best knock will go down. He ran out into the blue and just decided enough is enough. That nade will confirm set. Rostamar gets himself another, continue his high damage stats, his high kill stats. Squeaky and Rostamar on that team have been dominating the board, but it is a big team effort for the boys from Finland. ENCE, they qualified, of course, as Accelerate, dominated, and they really have played without fear here in the PEL.
So just kind of remind ourselves here, FaZe Clan, 323 points in 7th place. Winstrike and Jokers are gone. Both of those teams are on 333. So just a win, depending on kills, obviously, would take them into joint 5th place with 3 other teams. And then beyond that, it's only 9 points away from 4th position, which would be G2.
Oh, he got greedy looking for the angles on Team Liquid, didn't they? And they pushed out and caught him.
Look at the kills.
8 kills and counting. Yeah.
Circle goes that way as well, so they're laughing. They don't really have to do too much work here. I don't think they'll have to defend because no one should, in theory, push their position.
A couple of solos in there as well. Shadow from Vitality, Voxic from the Knights, all sitting in that little spot. G2 still with their compound inside. It's TSM, really, that have to make a move. ENCE look like they're going to be coming in the back side of Digital Athletics. CrowCrowd left out in the cold up north.
Trust me, you don't want to be there. I've only just got running water where I'm from. They've got a bit of a gauntlet to run with ENCE holding them back. DA actually might be able to put ENCE to the sword here, or at least do some damage to their economy, and maybe even knock a player or 2 down. They are the next... Essentially, there is an establishment just in front of them, which they might go take up property residence in. Navi, though, looks towards CC as they do head down. How many can they keep alive into the circle, though? Once they get in, there's not a lot of cover. There might be a couple of ditches, but those grenades will happily ignore that and roll it in and just do as much damage as they can. Meanwhile, ENCE, they find the compound I was speaking about earlier on, and they're rolling up on DA's position.
G2 also taking a position on that hill. There's a cheeky nade out the back. Catch that one if you can, Trifili. Iro's looking to confirm. That one's going to roll in towards him as well. Goodbye, Trifili. Actually did no damage. I have no idea sometimes in this game.
It went a bit too far.
A little too far, yeah. The splash damage. G2 making a move on FaZe Clan. They're coming over the road behind them. TSM also coming up on the ridge line as well. So TSM and G2 may clash with one another as FaZe look towards it. Mikas is going to get Trifili. That's why he didn't get caught. He's just got himself just around that little ledge. But that's going to be Gustav caught out. 80 will catch him.
Sees him and instas him. Just laser beams him in the face. 80 had a complete
Wookie pushing, Mexi going for
yesterday.
it. We can see it playing out on the, well, we could see it playing out on the pit there, and we've switched back over. There we go. Mert, oh, Mert just caught them both with a nade. So the sweet irony as we cut away from it, Magister will catch him out. Of course, ENCE, it doesn't really matter what happens with ENCE. They are safe. They are done. It's TSM, FaZe, and G2 that are really the focus now in terms of points as Digital Athletics continue with Navi pushing them from high.
So DA is just smashing, completely smashing ENCE to pieces. Like, where's this DA been all along? This is the DA that I want to see playing every single day.
Oh, Fuzz. He's got a Wookiee right on his doorstep. Oh, you got so lucky. He now obviously just gave him away. They're going to double push. Look at that. There they go.
Repeat comes in.
Double peek, triple peek, even go for it. Wookiee gets down. Does Michael take a peek? Michael takes a peek and gets spotted, and that's going to be TSM going down your field here. ENCE, meanwhile, actually go down in 9th place. Michael not spotted. We cut away just at the time to see him, but yeah, Michael gets himself down there.
Very much doubt there's much he can do, to be honest. Been
G2 moving.
held back by the blue. G2 are indeed moving. Then Crutch slowly onto FaZe's position. They've heard that bullets have been going off, and obviously FaZe are down to 3 man, so
they know it's FaZe. This is a threat to them. This is the threat to them. Chris, they could have done with catching more damage there. That was the surprise factor, and the surprise has been completely lost.
ENCE will try and find its way in, though. One inside that building. It's only a small level 1 floor. It's done some damage, but no knocks just yet. FaZe might get clever here and head up north and just get ahead of them. Liquid still. Keep the kills going. VOD down. The Knights are out of this one for now.
And nade caught Chris. He's having to heal himself up in the distance there. Fuzz trying to get the jiggle peak angle, not really working for him. The rest of the team, Mexi and ENCE have gone, but they're going to be running headlong in towards Digital Athletics on the hillside here. We're not seeing it. It's actually up in the top of the scale. We're panning around to look at Michael. That's great. ENCE is down as Mexi looks towards the rest of Digital Athletics. There we go. Mert and Iro coming down the hill. ENCE, he is down, but he's behind the tree, so he might be safe from flushing.
Yeah, feeling it now. Plenty of kills in the bags, especially after taking out ENCE. You've got to be happy with that one. Smokes are up. They might be able to make some sort of position. Mexi lasers him. Complete instant. Now Shadow from the shadows. Up and over he goes. Takes out Mexi.
He's going to flush it as well.
He should go for the point, surely.
Yeah, and he's going to get both. Actually, Michael nicked it.
That's
Michael
cheeky.
nicked it. ENCE's going to get back on his feet. Iro's being pushed by the blue, and he may give him just the smallest of angle on FaZe Clan. He's going to try and catch him in the back. He does. He catches ENCE down. Just been revived, remember. Fuzz has to spin on him. You can see it all playing out in the distance while Shadow lies behind a car. Iro, meanwhile, looking towards it. Team Liquid, they haven't been dealt with yet. They're now clashing with G2 down the bottom.
Fuzzface does get a good nade off, so he'll continue to see him through, but Michael, the snake in the grass, the disaster comes in. TSM, 1 man strong.
They didn't deal with him.
We keep talking about these individual players. Once you leave him alone, they'll come back and stab you in the back.
Did not deal with him. G2 with 4 alive are laughing right now. 4th place, you're chasing us? You think so? You really think so? They are going to get the points regardless of what happens now. TSM also, it's a decent little climb for them. It's going to be a long old haul for them tomorrow, though. And in the last game, Samti looking to... that was close, forced him back.
Unless James can, like, if between them, if they can get a pick here, this could be... Oh, that's a okay. Now they can run towards it. Now they can take that position and move, because literally
G2... Back into G2. Look at that, James. James is already on him. We're watching Sadovnik. He's not the point of view we need to see. It's going to be Team Liquid. All right, so I'll look to the left, why don't we? And we go over towards G2, who are trying to make the move up the hill. Michael's got himself into that compound that FaZe were holding, so he's snuck in there.
If there's any kind of ammo, armor, bandages, meds, whatever, I'll be able to pull them off of FaZe's body boxes.
Another 10-kill game for Team Liquid.
They're just... at the moment, farming.
They've got to have the most kills now, I think. They may well be going up there. They're starting to get so secure in their kill prowess. And, you know, we've heard from Gempty and etc. Some of the players just, you know, they weren't quite happy with their play style or not happy with their game. You know, team-wise, it went well, but it wasn't good for me. And that just shows the perfectionist style, I guess, of some of these players. You know, they're all starting to frag, you know. Hell, how long were we banging on about James's nades? We haven't really seen much of it. What we're seeing is his gun show.
We'll have to continue now. As Pokemon gets aggressive up and close, and that's fine. Look down in 5 now. V can continue the battle. Meanwhile, all this is going down. We've still got Shadow just hiding away and also picking up a crit, just for the sake of it, just for a bit of fun. G2 with a 4-man stack. This should be an easy GG for them. Shadow and Michael potentially going to find each other rather soon as Michael is forced to move. Yeah, there we go. He sees him. So he has the info. He's got all the level 3 gear as well. Kane's just spotted him. Bye-bye, Michael. Oh, what? Oh, okay, they killed each other. TSM 4th. I'm guessing that means that Vitality got 3rd. There we go. So it was a trade-off as they got spotted out. And now it comes down to Na'Vi versus G2. CIS versus Germany, but again, 50% deficit going the way of Na'Vi. 4-man up for G2. And I guess they just walk on in here.
And a win here is a gigantic confidence boost for them. You know, they may not have picked up too many kills from it overall. Na'Vi with 8 there themselves. But doesn't matter. It's the win that counts. And G2, it's been a long time for them to have this win. You know, it's sitting on them 4 wins for a long time unless they haven't dealt with Pokemon yet, who may, in a 1v2, go off here. He finds himself another. Oh dear, just gets sprayed down. Oh, lands it in the end there.
Wobble.
My word, G2 get the win, and yeah, you can see it was not a confident one.